Hi, my name is Tish and I create content on beliefs, the beliefs that we hold, the beliefs that we have somewhat inherited from our lineage, from our parents, from our grandparents, and the beliefs that have been projected onto us by society, and how those beliefs can somewhat prevent us from opening up to life in new ways, expressing in new ways. So in this week's discussion, I want to start to explore some of the beliefs that may be preventing you from having the pleasurable experience that it is that you may be desiring. So if you're considering sex for the first time, or if you know someone that might be opening up to this experience, or if you had expectations and the experience didn't quite meet those expectations, then stick around. Your first experience, as with most experiences in life, are really impactful, and sex is no different. In fact, it can really expose our capacity to give and receive in a balanced way. And to do that, we need to look at the beliefs that we hold about ourselves and the beliefs that we hold surrounding sex. For a female, receiving in a pleasurable way is something that has been somewhat challenged throughout history, and we may find ourselves recreating the same challenges if we are not aware that we're doing this. And so it's really important to look at the beliefs that we hold and how they may inhibit our capacity to receive in a pleasurable way. So I want to take a moment here just to invite you to consider any conflicting beliefs surrounding receiving, surrounding worthiness. Are there any feelings of shame or guilt? Take a moment to consider how these themes have played a role in your life. What did you observe in your childhood? What did your parents model? And so take a moment to consider some of these things, and you might want to take more time after this video, but just begin to consider how these things could potentially limit you in opening up to a new experience, or perhaps may have limited you. These beliefs can be felt in the body as a feeling. They can also present as an idea about what it is that you believe is acceptable, not acceptable. They are subconscious memories. Both of these things, they are a result of an external impulse, so an experience that you had in the outer world. Your body has a way of processing and storing that information. They turn into these subconscious memories, and they carry their own frequency depending on the way that you perceived that experience, and therefore a point of attraction. So they can somewhat restrict creation. They can limit what you experience, and in this case, your capacity to receive. Oftentimes, these limiting beliefs, when they start to really sink into the subconscious, we can become unaware that they are affecting our lives on many levels. They are informing our actions and our behaviors, and somewhat limiting us from doing things in a new way. And what happens is we receive some level of distortion or static from the environment, and this might show up in relationship. This might be a partner that reveals this belief to you about yourself. But because we are having this outward experience, because we are having this dualistic experience, we can often fall into victimization and self-loathing and blame the other person, where in fact we need to step back and realize that, well, actually, this is showing me, this is the ideas of mirrors, how we are reflecting to each other things within us. And if we fall into that blame game, then we are failing to really see that there is a belief here within me that I'm carrying that I'm neglecting to really see. And so this is where we can miss the opportunity and then continue to recreate the same cycles. And so this is where we can continue to perpetuate the same cycle. We might find ourselves in similar relationships and going through similar themes with just different people when there is this mind-body disconnect. And when we're not aware of that, this can affect things like performance. And it's so widely assumed that if you are intimate with your partner, that your body is just going to respond in a positive way. And that is not the case, especially if you're unaware of the beliefs that you are carrying. I don't know if people say this anymore, but they used to say this. They would say things like, I'm open to love, or I'm looking to love, or looking for love, sorry, or you might be asked, are you open? Are you looking for love? And if you haven't cultivated that within, just the, saying that just feels really, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like, why are you looking for that outside? And many of us are not taught to do this. And so many of us are taught to go outside because we are somewhat incomplete without this person. This can be extremely disempowering, and many of us aren't taught to trust ourselves, to cultivate this within first. We are always taught to look out because there is either something wrong with us, or we were taught to self-doubt from the get-go. So if you are desiring an authentic connection, look at the beliefs that you hold. They are likely somewhat limiting your capacity to receive in some way if you feel that there is something that is missing. That alone should be an indicator that you need to somewhat detach from this idea and look within. So this is one condition that you can explore or start to open up to. The other thing that you can pay attention to are things like are more physiological. So if you're a female, things like your menstrual cycle. And if you're a male watching this, then I would continue watching this just so that you're more educated. There are phases within your menstrual cycle for intercourse. If you're not honoring this, then you're likely going to experience discomfort and pain. And so when sex is associated with pain and discomfort, dysfunction occurs in the body, and the body starts to shut down as a means of protection and survival. And this can manifest as weight gain, hormonal imbalance. There's various mechanisms that are thrown off balance. And so if you are struggling with any of these things, ask yourself, why is it that you are not honoring your body? Again, that is rooted in a belief that you have about yourself. For the most part, girls aren't encouraged to understand their physiology and how their bodies work and how to honor their needs. So start to develop a relationship with your body. No one else is going to teach you to do that. And one way that you can do this is through self-discovery. And so get to know how your body works. Practice. If there's something that you want to open up to, practice on your own first, as you are far less likely to feel pressured to force your body to do something that it clearly isn't ready to do. If you want to purchase something to help you with this, you can. I would recommend that you start by using your hands so that you begin to become aware of how your body responds to different pressures. It's good to know what you can achieve personally before you try to seek something, seek that in another. And if you're a parent, I would highly encourage you support things like self-discovery. This also helps you understand what it is that you like, and you can educate your partner on this, and it's a good way to manage expectations. When you do decide to share this experience with another person, remove the pressure to achieve full penetration. There are varying degrees of being open depending on the beliefs that you hold, as well as physiological conditions. What your body opens up to changes day by day. So just on a physiological level alone, begin to become aware of your body and how it's changing. Learn to honor its natural rhythms. And a lot of women prefer intercourse, and communicating this to your partner will help you gain that sense of confidence and empowerment, which is particularly important if you struggle with boundaries and beliefs surrounding self-worth. Another piece of advice that I would like to share would be to avoid porn. Porn has a strong influence on sexual behavior. This is male-centric behavior. This is a male's perspective. And as females, we try to mold that because we believe that our survival is based on fulfilling the needs of men. Again, a belief that we have somewhat inherited and need to let go of. So avoid porn, especially when the first 30 minutes is focused on male pleasure, followed by more male pleasure, and then finishing with more male pleasure. It can be very misleading, especially for young women who are just opening up to this. So stay away from porn unless you want a man to tell you how your body should work. And let's face it, some women prefer that, and not in a kinky way, just they're addicted to their disempowerment, essentially. Opening up to receive in a pleasurable way is not just about understanding your physiology, but the beliefs that you carry. These inner impulses that we carry that come through our feeling state or our thinking state, as in the ideas that we generate, or the ideas that we carry that inform our actions and behaviors. If we are unaware of where it is that they came from or who do they belong to, then they can really restrict us in or limit us in how we respond or open up to life. If there were certain needs that were unmet in childhood, you're likely to struggle with healthy boundaries. You're likely to have difficulty expressing your desires, and this is likely to limit you. You not only block your pleasure, but you block life on many levels. These beliefs, they carry their own frequency, and therefore they create a point of attraction. So just be aware of the agreements that you are making, or the beliefs that you are enabling, that you are making space for. So share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe so this information can reach more people. In fact, share it with someone that you think can benefit from this video. Socials are in my bio, and until next time, stay open.